Hi Leo, hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your journal messages for May 4th, listen to me, May 8th through the 14th. Let's get right into things. So as normal, I'm actually going to be starting off with a general reading and apply it to, could be work, family situation, relationship, whatever. And then I'm going to do a separate reading for love. I'm going to timestamp for that in the description box, where there's also a 15% off coupon code that I started offering last week. It's just for the month of May, 15% off of my Synastry reads. So those are the reads where I take your birth chart, a significant other's birth chart, I lay them on top of each other, I run a report, then I pull the current transits, take a look at what's going on for you guys right now, and then I pull a couple of spreads on whatever might be on your heart that you need maybe some guidance on regarding your relationship. So it's a good reading. A lot of information comes with it. I send you all the reports and all of that stuff. So there's a 15% off code again in the description box if that's something that you might be interested in. Okay, so we have a lot going on this week besides the new moon. We're going to talk about that, but Jupiter is entering Pisces. It's taken a little bit of a break from Saturn for a few months, then it's going to go back. Blessed. This keeps coming up. I'm loving this. Love it. Blessed. Who's got your back on the other side, Leo? Somebody who you love maybe has recently passed. Somebody, maybe not even recently, but somebody, maybe a parent, a grandparent, an aunt, a friend, somebody, an uncle. Loyal heart. This first one's going to be for general. And then we have serendipity. Very nice. These both came off for other signs. I forget who. Okay, let's just put those over here for now. All right. So let's get into this. Serendipity, blessed, loyal heart. Nothing is happening by accident. Somebody's got your back on the other side. Loyal heart is you, Leo, right? You guys are such a loyal soul. In relationships, in career, you're very loyal to a cause, which is really beautiful. So the first transit that I want to discuss is Venus entering Gemini. Now, Mercury's in Gemini it went into Gemini May 3rd, is going to be in Gemini until July 7th. It's a lot going on with Gemini right now, but let's just stick with this one. On the 8th, Venus is going in to Gemini, and this is happening in your 11th house of goals gained, your friends, associations, but I want you to think about the 11th house. It's several things, right? But I want you to think about it as where you're becoming, right? It's you wanting to become more than something greater than what you currently are, right? Moving beyond your image of self, becoming something larger than yourself right now, through either some sort of new job, some group of people, a new relationship, right? Because it's the 11th house, it works with the 5th house, which in 5th house is falling in love affairs, romance. So it can be all of that, right? But it really is this energy of what's your 5-year plan, what's your 10-year plan, and really looking at this stuff, right? So that's going to be a thing right now, with the Gemini energy, with that 11th house. So we're going to have Mercury going into pre-shadow. That's not going to be happening though until the 14th, towards the end of the week. But on the 8th, we have that Venus entering there. So there's going to be a lot of communication in this energy for you, Leo, a lot. So especially since it is the energy of friends, wanting to pursue things, really wanting to kind of start to crystallize that 5-year plan, that 10-year plan. So there's a lot of sociability, there's a lot of communication. You might even be meeting people. It's also like I said, a relationship energy. Lots of communication though. Very enticed, very attracted to the idea of the mental, though. Not mental as in like somebody who's crazy, but mental meaning the mind, right? I think you know what I meant. But, the deep attraction coming from communication, right? More than anything is what I'm seeing for you regarding that. Also being very, mentally stimulated by an idea having to do with a career idea, something like that. But that is what's going to be happening. Now, I just want to mention that the shadow side of Gemini is fickleness, and the need for like a renaissance energy, a renaissance situation where it's got a lot to offer you. That person has a lot to offer you. That position has a lot to offer you. And you're going to be very focused on that. So you might be completely in the camp of favor for a person, a situation, whatever. And then, 2 days later, it might be like, oh, wait a minute. I don't know if that's actually the best thing for me in the long run. So there can be a little bit of vacillation with Venus in Gemini, particularly in the 11th, where you're really trying to think about the path that you want to take your life on. So let's get into the cards. We're starting off with the Tower. Okay, important energy. Very necessary a lot of the time. It just is, right? I mean, this is, look, the numerology link to the Tower is the Chariot. So try to think about it like that, glass half full, right? As the Chariot pulls us away from something that's toxic, not meant for us, right? To bring us towards our metaphorical home space, where it is that we're supposed to be going, right? So there's this necessary surrender that's going to be going on. This could have to do with a job, some sort of work situation. This could have to obviously do with a relationship where some sort of secret comes out. And even though it might be shocking, not really, it's like shocking-ish. Because the thing with the Tower, because it's a Mars energy, Mars puts up the red flags. We choose to not see them a lot of the times, right? Just because we're human and like we need to give ourselves a break. So a lot of times that's what happens. So when something ends, if we're really honest with ourselves, we can see all the signs that were popping up along the way that we made excuses for, that we tried not to look at, that we tried to dismiss, right? Well, what happens with the Tower is Mars is like, I'm not letting you ignore it anymore. It's time, my friend, to come on this path. So he takes you from the rubble and he puts you on the Chariot to bring you towards that Cancer 4th house energy, which is that metaphorical home space, right? So something coming into this, you have at least in your mind realized something's over. That wasn't meant for you. That wasn't meant. I know that's really hard to accept when something ends before we feel ready for it. Because sometimes even when it's our doing, we're not fully ready, right? I mean, that's just the reality, right? So that's what we have coming into this energy. Right now, we have the Two of Pentacles being crossed by the Sun. So there's a lot of confusion that you're experiencing right now, my friend. I do feel that with the Two of Pentacles. There is something you're very confused about, and you're in this space of negotiating with yourself, but you need to make a decision. So you're confused about like 2 jobs, 2 people, 2 paths, fill in the blank, but you really have to get in touch with which area. So you have 2 things, right? Which do you feel a greater sense of lack in? Which do you feel a greater sense of lack of connection, or which one do you feel more connected to, right? And then you need to decide to put the other pentacle down and understand that right now, and this is not going to be easy, right? Because the sun is crossing it, and the Sun is it's the best card in the deck, the Sun in the world, really. I mean, this is all about, growing a beautiful connection, success in a position through which you can make more money, if it has to do with career or work. So this could be, you're very confused, but you're not sure what the right answer is. And that could be so difficult to be in that space. I see a lot of, there's confusion. Somebody's got your back on the other side. Everything's happening exactly how it's supposed to be. I know you don't want to hear that, but it truly, truly is. And the fact that we have the new moon on May 11th, it's the new moon in Taurus. And for you guys, this is going to be happening in your 10th house. So the 10th house, that midheaven energy, is really about your career, your public reputation, your standing in the world. It's this need for achievement, recognition, praise, but even within relationships, right? And how you want to be seen in the world. So there's going to be this newness here. A lot of times the 10th house does also indicate, are you married or you're not married? Are you employed or are you unemployed? That kind of thing. That's your standing in the world. So I see there's going to be some sort of newness here, right? And there's an energy here where you need to commit to a personal goal regarding whether something is good for you or not. And you really need to get in touch with your body, your mind, right? Because this is a Taurus energy. Taurus rules the body. It rules the 5 senses. It's a Venusian energy. You need to slow down, really become more aware of what makes you feel comfortable and secure and uncomfortable, the same way. You want to focus on good stuff, right? You need to concentrate on what you could do to increase your feelings of self-worth and simplify your life in key ways around what it is that you're doing for work, friendships, even in relationships. Where is it that you see yourself going? And you need to really kind of make a decision. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. This is really going to require, Leo, for you to kind of pull it back. All right, pull it back a little bit. What I love about this energy for you, I have to say this week, is you're going to be less selfish than ever. And I'm speaking about the Leo archetype. Gets a bad rap a lot of times. They say, oh, Leos are very selfish, right? Because it is a very me-based energy, and it's a very, hey, look at me energy, right? It's the energy of the entertainer and very creative and all of that. But Leo rules is the landlord of the 5th house, which is the house of, things we love to do because we love to do them, right? Again, a very me-based energy. It's also about romance and all of that. It's other things. But what I like about this energy, especially the Mercury being in this 11th house, you're going to be less selfish than ever. You're not going to really be just thinking about yourself. You're going to be thinking about other people, other people's feelings, what your choices and your decisions, how it's going to impact other people. So this means that you're going to be giving your time, your energy, and your thoughts to other people, right? You might even be advocating for other people, standing up for other people. Don't be surprised if you find yourself in that energy. But I do sense, like, in the middle of all of this, in the confusion, you're defending your thoughts, you're defending your desires, why it is that you want to do what you want to do, whether it's to yourself, whether it's to other people, maybe a little bit of both. But with this new moon energy, you really have to focus on, here I am saying that you're going to be very focused on all of this 11th house stuff, but this new moon is in your 10th house, right? On how you're seen and where you're standing in the world. Now, this new moon is harmonizing with Neptune and Pluto, suggesting that your inspiration and determination support your effort to start something new, brand spanking new. Right? So it's time for you to become known as someone else or something else, right? Not that there's anything wrong with how you are now, but to grow yourself in a particular area. And while the squares to Saturn and Jupiter are wide, they're relevant because the new moon is closely square to the Jupiter-Saturn midpoint. So you can be dealing with very strong desire to leave something, to grow, to become more than you are right now. But you also have to deal with the limits and rules and the way life is right now. And that could really take up a lot of energy. That distance between what you really want to do and what you're able to do, right? So you want to make sure you don't get too overwhelmed by that energy where you become like, the hell with it, or on the other side of that, too controlling, right? You want to make sure that you focus on balance and make at least small little decisions. Small little moves will go a long way in this energy, Leo. I'm not kidding. Wait about 2 weeks after and see if you don't see everything just starting to shift, because that's what the shift is happening now. It really is happening this week as Jupiter entered Pisces, and man, we got to talk about how it's hitting you. Holy. Yes, my friend, Pisces entering, Jupiter entering Pisces. Let's talk about the 4 Cups first, though. Because the 4 Cups energy indicates to me that there's something that you're feeling very either restless about, bored with, you're feeling apathetic, maybe even feeling a little disillusioned, right? Am I ever going to find a job that I really want? Am I ever going to meet the right one? Am I ever, is this family ever going to not be crazy kind of thing, right? So it's that kind of energy where you need to heal the past. There's something that needs healing from your past. And whatever it is that's not healed is popping up as an issue. And it could be around your shaping parent, which is usually the mother, not always, right? But it could be having something to do with that, right? In this new moon energy, because that's that 10th house energy. And the 10th house energy also has to do with the shaping parent. Influence of the shaping parent, right? And it's the idea of what the world is requiring of us right now, right? So with this 4 of Cups energy, you could be in the space of really needing to look at that, but not really being able to. What you may be in this space of saying, this job, this relationship, this family connection, whatever, can't work because of A, B, and C, and because of this, and this, right? I always call it the checklist energy. And you may be right. All of those things may be right. But you need to look a little deeper on the other side. Why does a certain situation bother you so much? Is it just simply that you've outgrown something? Is it because you feel very misunderstood by somebody? Get in touch with that and look at how that's making you feel. That's very, very important. Some of you, if you are in this space where you're feeling very confused about a relationship or even about a job, and you're not so like overt with, well, they do this, they do this, they do this. Really, it just could be straight up that you're bored. You need some spice in your life. You might be bored to death, right, at that job or in that relationship. You're just like, ugh, I don't know. This is exhausting. It's emotionally exhausting. I don't know if I could do it. Okay, I have a little fire in my belly left to do it. But you're going to be in a space of feeling defensive about what it is that you want, need, and desire. Just make sure that you don't allow that negative mindset to hang out for too long. You're going to have what it is that you want on the other side, meaning it's all going to work out really well as long as you maintain balance and a careful approach, because the other side of the Nine of Wands is the Ten of Wands, and that's the card of overwhelm. So you have to be careful. It does seem like something is pushing you to the point of saying, that's it, we have to make a decision. We have to do it. And what's tricky here, Jupiter entering Pisces, we have to talk about it. One of the most important ramifications of Jupiter and Pisces, if we're open to it, is the fact that just when things seem the most hopeless and bleak, Jupiter comes in, da-da-da, like the guardian angel, and saves the day. But this has less to do with good fairy luck and more to do with Jupiter and Pisces being like a deep faith energy and benevolence and the significance of life, and really kind of slipping into this openness and this willingness to receive whatever Jupiter has to bring. But this is the thing. Jupiter always brings the truth. It's very important to understand whatever placement Jupiter's in, he's looking for meaning in life, meaning in that part of your life, and truth. You got it in the 8th house, Leo. So we have to talk about that, because when we have Jupiter in Pisces, that means it's not found in the external reality. It's not found in a partner. It's not found in an external business partner. The answer is not found in the insurance settlement, in the divorce settlement, in that inheritance settlement, other people's money. It's not found in that. It's got to be from within you. That's the thing. And this is a supportive energy that can turn negative experiences into positive ones and challenges into blessings, but you have to be very open and really turn to yourself. And that kind of stillness that's necessary, because in order to make this happen, you have to meditate. You have to allow yourself to be at peace, to meditate, to pray, to be on a little mental retreat. It's stillness. And that self-care isn't very easy for everyone all the time, right? So the personal truth that wants to come out in your 8th house is going to be uncomfortable. And it could cause you to run around desperately hunting for joy in other directions other than within yourself to solve those problems and answer those questions. So it can incite reckless behavior, overindulgence in alcohol and drugs, like manic theatrics, to divert situations or other self-undoing kind of thing. And I know this is, icky to hear, but this is what can happen, right? This is the shadow manifestation. In general, if you're open, this transit's going to push you to give of yourself and just embrace compassion and really figure out, is what you're doing in this 8th house the right thing to do? 8th house has to do with other people's money blended with yours, intimacy. It has to do with its divorce proceedings. I mean, it is. It's sex as a mean of transcending the separate sense of self. It's the endings and beginnings, the transitions, transformation, self-regeneration. But what I love about this energy, and this is what I'm hoping that in this energy you tap into, is the fact that it's in this energy where you will discover the thing that's absolutely indestructible inside of you. And that's the thing that you're going to need to tap into right now, because you're going through a lot of change, Leo, right? We know this. It's going through change. And where has Jupiter been hanging out with Saturn? In your 7th house of business partnerships, of marriage, right? These are things. Now it's in the 8th house. Now it's like, all right, endings and beginnings. What are we going to do? We need to transform it, or we need to release it now. This is it. Are we going to fix this marriage, or are we going to get a divorce? Bottom line, are we going to fix this business partnership, or are we going to dissolve it? What are we going to do? We need to figure it out. Do you know what I'm saying? That's really what this ends up being a kind of thing. And now at the same time, because Jupiter is such a great energy, it's very positive. This is a very nice energy to be able to cooperate and negotiate, particularly if there are finances involved, if there's anything involved in the ending and the new beginning, right? But there is this idea of destroying old ego boundaries, opening up new ones. This is a period of cleansing and renewal. And with Jupiter, the great benefic in there, in Pisces, which is the deepest sign, there's going to be a lot of cleaning out for you that is unavoidable. You're all going to be feeling it. Sorry for my little tangent there, but I feel like this is just such important energy for you guys to really, really understand. Because right now you're in the space, the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles is a really great energy. It's property. This is where your head is at. Property, family, inheritance. This is all 8th house stuff. Generosity and support. If you've been struggling financially, and you're looking at that, right? This does indicate things getting better, money coming into you somehow. So maybe you're receiving some sort of inheritance, insurance payback, right? Something like that Jupiter entering Pisces, money coming from something, or this could even be, all right, money coming from the settlement of the divorce. It could certainly be that. Or you offering that to somebody else. But there's almost like this good faith energy here, right? Where it's like not wanting to fight about something. You just want to take care of something and just let it go. You're not looking to be, like I mentioned, right? Having that Mercury energy there in your 11th house. You're not looking to be selfish. You're not. You just, want what's yours, and that's the end of it. We have the external energy that's impacting you right now. It's this kind of the energy surrounding you right now is the world. So the world means completion. It's success, but only because a lesson's been learned. So as a result of that lesson learning, now you get the beautiful Saturnian lesson. And that's what's bringing you this energy of fixing your finances, fixing your connection as well, by the way. I don't want to make it only about money. Because Pentacles can be mental, physical, emotional connection. So even if it's not about finances, it could certainly be maybe you're meeting somebody new, or maybe you're with a new energy and you're getting this kind of support, this reciprocity. You feel like somebody has your back and you have theirs, that kind of thing. But maybe the person that you were with before, it wasn't the case with them, or that's just where your mental space is. We have the challenge here is the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups means you're having a hard time walking away from something. Because this is about departure and change, right? Having high EQ, right? High emotional intelligence, recognizing something doesn't feel right. So, okay, the smart thing to do, the right thing to do, the compassionate thing to do is to move on, right? With sadness but no regret. It was great while it was. It ultimately is not what I want, right? Because it's a Saturn and Pisces energy. But you're having a hard time with that. And it could be because of the money factor, the connection factor. There are several things that could be going on here. Or you might feel really guilty, right? Because Gemini in the 11th, especially with Venus there, if you could definitely feel kind of guilty about hurting somebody, not having follow through with something. We have the Justice energy here. So Justice energy is another 7th house card. So this, again, could have to do with marriage, a business partnership, anywhere where there's a close shared connection. But this is sort of like being at court with it, right? It's the truth coming out. It's balance. It's perception. But it's trying to find fairness, trying to find a win-win solution. Or at least looking at these things and asking and answering how, present are these things in the situation? How fair is everything? How balanced is everything? Are you having your emotional needs met? Then emotional needs, that's not only in partnerships, right? Like intimate relationships, that's in friendships, for goodness sake. It's, are you liking how you're feeling something? If you're not, you really have to look at it. And then we have Angel Dandelion Wheat, which is the dark night of the soul sort of energy. This is sort of like the Black Moon Lilith. This is really needing to look at that which we don't want to look at in ourselves. And it's time to get really, really serious about making a particular type of change. Because if you don't, there's a type of self-sabotage that can be exercised here that you really need to be careful. So what is it that's poking at you that you feel like you need to look at as far as moving forward? Is it getting that job? Is it changing majors? Is it ending that marriage? Is it getting into that relationship? Is it fixing that broken family bond? Is it dealing with that that lawsuit just head on. You know, whatever it is, everything that I just indicated would kind of jive with all the energies that we've been talking about this week. Everything is very blessed, very serendipitous, again, happening exactly how it is. I love that we got the Loyal Heart card, because that really speaks to me. It does speak to me about that the Mercury and Gemini in your 11th. So that's what we have for the general read. Let's go on to relationship for our Leo friends, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Remember, guys, these are general messages, so don't try to make them fit if they don't. I don't know really who I'm speaking to, right? I'm speaking to Leo, the archetype. I don't know you or your chart or what transits were happening when you were born or what's impacting you now. And that could change everything. Entrapment. Why did I feel like I was going to get that? Discover your life purpose, 11th house, hello. Entrapment, 8th house, okay. Victim consciousness, Pisces energy. Jupiter and Pisces, right? 8th house energy. I feel like I'm not feeling that deck for my Leo friends for relationship. I don't know why. So entrapment means exactly that. You feel trapped in something. Now, those of you who are single, you could be trapped in your own thoughts. You could be trapped in the past. You could be trapped to an energy that you can't quite shake. You could feel trapped in a marriage, a relationship, and you're in this space where you're being pushed to really discover what it is that you really want to do in your life as far as moving forward in this area of relationship. We have this victim consciousness. Be very careful about that, right? Be very careful, because that's a 4 cups energy as well. It's like, oh, you know, I can't be in this because look what they did to me, and da. And all of that might be 100% correct and valid and all of that. But then the other side of that is, why'd you stay for so long? Why'd you allow them to do that? I know that's mean, but in reality, it's really healthy to look at those things and say, you know what? I'm only a victim if I make myself stay here. Now, there are extenuating circumstances. For example, if you're in a situation because of particular circumstances, physical limitations, some sort of illness, something like that, you know, where you're in this space, then it becomes a lot more complex, obviously, right? But in general, get the 6 of Cups in reverse. Four Cups reverse. Okay, so I see you with a new outlook. 4 of Cups in reverse, a new direction, a new option. Somebody new in relationship has come in, but at the same time, we have the 6 of Cups in reverse, which is living in the past, unrealistic expectations, kind of being a little naive about a situation. I'm not throwing any shade, I'm just reading the cards. Maybe not realizing the full, possible fallout of a situation that's going on here. And then this is being crossed by the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles is about focusing on responsibilities, trying to be diligent, hardworking, right? Just very logical and diligent approach. So you're trying very hard to have a logical and diligent approach, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like your strategy maybe is the best for you right now, because whatever it is, it does seem like how you're looking at something may be a little bit off. And you know, if it's the Jupiter and Pisces, which is a really beautiful energy, but it can suck you into this interesting space. Because I want you to understand something. For those of you who are learning astrology, you maybe know this, maybe don't know it. Whenever Jupiter is in a sign, it expands that energy, because Jupiter is about growth and expansion, right? So when it's going into Pisces, it's taking Pisces and it's kind of blowing it out a little bit, right? And what is Pisces? the martyr, the victim, self-sabotaging behaviors, not being able to see things clearly because he's ruled by Neptune. And Neptune's trying to look at reality through a dirty window or a thick fog. You understand? So that it's that energy sort of amplified when Gemini's in there. And we just want to make ourselves feel good. So a lot of things that could go on is like if you're in a relationship and you met somebody else, you might be doing something on the side and not telling your other partner, and things like just because you want to make yourself feel better. It could be that. I'm not saying that you guys are doing that, but it could be that. I'm just giving that as an example. Or drinking a lot to just escape everything, shopping a lot, do like lots of retail therapy, just to ease this restlessness that's going on inside of you, right? So just, to let you know that, because what I'm getting is I feel like you think you're handling everything very smart, but your friends and family might be like, okay, what is Leo doing exactly? Like that kind of thing. They might not be saying that, but they may be doing that. And that is a form of entrapment because you can't release yourself from something that you feel like you need to extricate yourself from, even if it's an old energy, right? So we have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords, page always indicates a new cycle. Swords are truth, it's information. So it's useful information coming in. You getting help from somebody around you to move yourself forward. But you being smart about it. You're relying on your intelligence. But you also, if you're dealing with the Page of Swords energy, you might be dealing with somebody who's a little insensitive, like very forthright with their words. No, not a bad person ultimately, but where they're like that, they're very forthright and can be very insensitive, and that could be like, oh, I don't know if I want to deal with you kind of energy, And we have you as the foundation. So something needs to be balanced here. Something within the relationship. Now, for some of you, you may be just very, very focused on the idea of romance, right? Because, Leo, you guys know that you are the landlord of the 5th house of fun. You guys are so much fun. You are. But also, falling in love, romance, doing all of that stuff. So it's that energy. So you just want to make sure, it's a little aside, you might be dealing with another energy that you feel insanely attracted to, where you're not even having the big discussions about like reality. You might be getting very caught up in attraction and not addressing what really needs to be addressed, and that's not going to go away. So there's got to be some sort of balance. For those of you who've been in a relationship for a long time, there is this need for balance, of course, but somebody needs their ego stroked here. Somebody does not feel good about something in this. Okay, but you're confused. It's like, I feel like 1 minute you feel like you know what you want, and then a few minutes later you're like, oh shit, what am I thinking? No, I don't think I want that, right? That's the 7 of Cups is it's not a bad energy. It's just confused me because you don't know everything yet. That's the thing. It's the kind of energy where it's like, okay, maybe this relationship isn't the best for me. Okay, fine. But I'm giving you an example now. Maybe it's not the best for me, but maybe it's going to be worse if I leave. Maybe my life's going to be worse. Or what if I don't meet anybody? And then if I go with this new person, one part of you may understand that somebody new coming in may be just sort of like a release valve for you, right? Somebody to lean on, right? When you're feeling very confused. You can meet somebody in this energy where if things are not good in your relationship, you want to be with that new person just because they're the anti-whatever. So like if your partner's name is like Joe or Linda, you meet this other person who's the anti-Joe or the anti-Linda, right? And so it's, maybe Joe's uptight and this new person's really fun. And you know that maybe there's no real future, but you're having a good time in the moment nonetheless, right? I'm just giving that as an example. So that's the kind of energy that brings, because you're scared of what's on the other side, because it's a Sun in Scorpio and Venus in Scorpio energy rather. So it's very confusing because there's transformation going on, and you know that. So we have 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands, a great energy. It is. It's Mars and Aries. It's about making plans, moving forward. Now, some of you may have a new romantic partnership going on. Maybe you've met the person through work, some sort of work-related thing initially, or friends, something like that. But there are two aspects of the situation that you have to figure out which is going to really speak to your soul the most. You know, what's going to end up speaking to your soul? So some of you are meeting somebody, not everybody is. They could just simply be two ideas within. Should we have a baby? Shouldn't we have a baby? Should we get married? Should we not? Should I stay in this relationship? Should I not? Should we move in together? You know what I'm saying? Like two of that. But one of the interpretations is somebody new, but it doesn't have to be. Now we have your challenge is the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is honestly the truth. You're having a really hard time really getting to the bottom of psychological motivations that are going on in this whole thing, not only with somebody else, but even with yourself. This is an energy that's telling you be determined and stand strong, but you're being very challenged by this. For some reason, it's like almost like you can't bring yourself to make the full-blown bottom line choice, because there's something about, right, we said the Two of Wands here, there's something about something else that's going on in your life that's not a great option for you to transition into right now. For you, it's all very subjective. For you, you know realistically that it may not be. We have the Five of Swords. So the fact that you got this tells me that you're feeling a clash of desire and reality. You're feeling this very a lot of distance between what it is that you really want and what the reality that you're living, and that's creating a lot of tension and ongoing conflict that you're not going to win. You're really better off walking away and dealing with the anger and disappointment, right? Because you can't mitigate somebody else's stuff. Like I always say, you can't fix the unfixable. If somebody else has issues going on or whatever, you can't fix that. You can't fix it. But then we have as the final outcome energy, we have the Six of Pentacles, which is nice. This is that energy of reciprocity. Come on, let me help you out. Don't worry, we're going to do this. We can figure this out. You know, let's figure this out. Let's see what else is going on here. I mean, this message came in, I kind of feel like skewed on one way, and I don't know why. I do not have heavy Leo in me. But let's just look at what else is happening here. We have, okay. Yeah, some secretive something. Yeah. There's a moving on, Leo. I have to tell you. If this is not your reading, don't try to make it. I mean, you're going to know intuitively if it is. But we have the Three of Pentacles here. Nice energy. This is about collaborating, coming together. Yeah, we're going to live here. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Some of you buying a home. Maybe you're selling your home, right? Something like that could certainly be that. And that's where that Six of Pentacles, if it's resonating with money, it could be that. And we have the Four of Wands energy. This is beautiful energy. We call this the honeymoon card. Very nice. Now, this could be a new partner opening up their heart and expressing their love and their affection and their desire for you. Certainly can be that. If this has to do with a current relationship where you guys are in the space of really hard trying to work something out, this could be just a strong foundation energy and just really trying to figure something out. This is also a homecoming energy as well, Four of Wands. So just sort of finding yourself in this space of finally feeling at home, feeling like things are right, but for some reason it's still causing you some anxiety. As we have the Four of Swords is, stepping back for perspective, doing some shadow work, figuring out a better strategy for moving forward regarding this situation. But ultimately, there's going to be this leaving, Eight of Cups. Departure, change, knowing something's not right and moving on. You may have even left the situation emotionally already. It's time to work on yourself, really, more than anything. We have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands, they're the great energy, Sun in Aries. These 2 and 3 of Wands, really good energies, even though they're minor arcanas. It's one of the good fortune cards, right? So very busy, intense period. This is an indicator for a wedding or at least an important relationship. You're going to be moving on to realize plans, but you might be in a situation that I'm going to say is a little unconventional. So there might be something very unconventional about your situation or about them. At least compared to something that you would typically be in. So maybe they're different from a different culture, or there's a significant age difference, or there's anything unconventional. Maybe you're going to be realizing that you're more okay with an unconventional kind of relationship, which is very, I highly doubt anyone's going to resonate with that, because that's very unusual for Leos, because Leos like to know that their partners are there. I don't know what else is aspecting for you. I don't know where your Uranus and your Aquarius fall in your house, but in your chart. But generally speaking, you guys like to just be in committed relationship. You like to be best friends with your partner. You know, all that cozy stuff. And then we have the High Priestess energy. So some sort of secrets are going on here, Leo. I don't know. So, and you might be single. Or you and your partner are keeping part of your life secret from others in your life, or you might be doing something a little something on, you know, behind the scenes going on, but you're not telling anybody. The High Priestess is like, shh, don't tell anybody. I'm thinking this, I'm feeling that, and you're not saying anything, because, and this is a smart thing to do right now, because at the end of the day, you really don't know right now. You don't. So I feel like you're waiting for some time to pass. Let things sort of roll out a little bit and see sort of how things are going to go. But I do see you leaving, ultimately, at the end of it. Something. Either you're leaving finally once and for all, you are washing that person off your soul from the past, or you're literally leaving somebody that you're in a relationship with right now for some reason or another. And there's something going on in secret that you're not talking about. Lightning, sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, transformation. I have a very weird energy right now. Okay. Well, you're going to be telling your friends and family that you've totally done with somebody. And it may seem very shocking and very surprising, but the bottom line is there is another energy here that is actually like twin flame, soulmate. We got both cards, guys. We got both cards. We also got coffin. Endings bring new beginnings, growth, change. We have the soulmate energy to clarify that. We have girl talk, boy talk. Really, it's just being with your friends and family and talking about how that thing had to end that you were in, and that's it. Right. Shocking. Something. Where is your Uranus? Okay, your Uranus right now is in your 10th house. So yeah, I mean, some sort of shocking, like we're getting a divorce, or we don't want to be together anymore, or we're moving out, or he's moving out, or she's moving out, or that person's moving out and this person's moving in, and surprise, you know, kind of thing. Is what I'm seeing here. Very specific message, guys. If it didn't resonate with you, we get you next time. That's just the way these things go sometimes. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye.